Go shawty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip a Bacardi like it's your birthday. Would it be a podcast episode without opening a LaCroix and spilling it all over you? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Kelsey Jones. If you don't know me, I am now 25 years old because it was my birthday. And I live in Austin, Texas, and I just talk about random life things on the podcast, and I hope you enjoy me rambling at you, and if you don't, just don't listen. Honestly, I really have no idea what I'm doing with the podcast because I thought at this point I would feel a little bit more in the groove or like topics would be free flowing about what I want to talk about. So I think next week we'll do a Q&A just so that I can get some like things rolling on my mind. But otherwise, I literally don't know what I'm doing here. So I need to give this a little bit more brain power to get you guys the content that you need. Hope y'all are having a wonderful Wednesday. Welcome back. I am 25 years old and it was my birthday on Sunday. I want to give y'all a little bit of a recap of like what I did and then talk to you guys about some previous birthday episodes that I made because this is kind of a tradition on the podcast every year when it's my birthday. I do a little birthday goal setting episode of like what I hope for the next year. And it's always cool to go back and listen to the old ones and be like, oh, that happened, or I don't want that anymore, or just see how life has changed. And it was really cool because in my 21st birthday episode, I kind of just like wrote down and spitballed like what I wanted my next year of my life to look like. And I didn't pick that list back up. I didn't like have it written on my wall. It was kind of just like in my subconscious. And lo and behold, I look at it a year later and I listened back to that episode and everything on the list was exactly how my life turned out. So that was like really cool at that point. And looking back on 22, it was a little bit different. We missed 23 and 24 because the podcast died, but we resurrected it. She's back from the dead. And now I can share my goals and dreams for 25 with you guys. Some of the things for 22 were completing the 75 hard, which I did, and I documented a lot of that on TikTok, which some of you guys know. One was going on a solo trip, which took another like year later from me writing that goal down to actually that happening. I lived in Costa Rica for almost 2 months. That was really cool. Another goal of mine back at age 22 was growing in my faith and community. And that has been just such a beautiful journey and something that I share with a lot of people and hope to share more on the podcast. I had some financial goals that have been going well. And I have some more financial goals for this year that I don't feel the need to share, but those always are on my mind. As well as one thing that I wanted to point out is I grew up with like a major fear of flying, and I've had like some scary moments on planes before that must be where it's rooted from. I don't know. A lot of people have a fear of flying, but like when I was 22, I had this crazy like panic attack moment in Miami. I was flying with my friend Amanda to and from Miami for spring break, and I had strep. And I didn't really know that I had strep at the time, but I knew that I was sick. And so we were flying home from Miami, and I was going to fly home so that I could then go to the doctor. And this was this pre-COVID? No, this is after COVID. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, that's when I turned 22. Anyway, I had like this crazy like freak out moment where I just like could not calm down, and I was like, I cannot get on this plane. I was having a panic attack, like the whole 9 yards, which I don't really get panic attacks at all. Like I do like feel anxiety sometimes. Honestly, my anxiety has been almost non-existent. I did have anxiety yesterday though, but that's because I drank 3 coffees and drank a lot of alcohol the night before and didn't eat any food. So I think that was my fault. But I have dealt with anxiety in the past. It's never been anything too severe. I actually did try anxiety medication at one time and it made me feel infinitely worse. I didn't sleep for like a month. So that was horrible. And yeah, now I feel like I just deal with anxiety like here and there. And a lot of times it's situational, but I don't really have anxiety anymore, which praise God because I know what that feels like and it's not fun. But that was like one of the most defined examples of like a panic attack or like severe anxiety in my mind that I've had. I did struggle with anxiety a lot while I was in New York, and I attribute that a lot to my mold poisoning, which if you haven't listened to that episode, you should, because that's crazy. But once I healed the mold poisoning and also just have been in therapy for a long time, and I don't know, having people to talk to and people to support me, I don't really struggle with it anymore, thank goodness. But back to my fear of flying. I have always had a fear of flying. So I'm in this Miami airport having a panic attack, and I remember that was like maybe 2 months before I wrote this list that I then shared with the world about the things I wanted to happen in my 22nd birthday year. And one of them was to get over my fear of flying, because I never wanted to have a panic attack like that happen again, because that was horrible and scary. And since then, I can confidently say that I'm pretty much over it. Like, I don't love turbulence, of course. I don't think anybody does, but I can handle myself on a plane. I have cried a couple times, but not like I'm not like adrenaline rush panicking inside, because that has happened before. When I lived in New York, I would fly around a lot. I'd travel a lot. I'd travel back home. Like, I did a lot of flying. And so I've kind of just exposure therapied myself into getting over my fear of flying. And I haven't been on a plane in like 2 months. But anyway, I don't feel like my fear of flying stops me from getting on planes anymore, which is major progress. So I still don't enjoy flying. Like, some people really like flying. I just don't really get that, because it's a cramped seat. I can't afford first class. I don't know about you guys. Well, I could, but that would be a waste of money in my opinion. I'm just like, it's not an enjoyable experience. And I haven't been to Europe in like a long time. And I'm thinking about going to Europe, or just somewhere that's a farther flight this year or this next year of my life. And I am just like not looking forward to the flight in any way, shape, or form, because I just hate everything about an airplane. It's just not enjoyable, and you're just cramped, and you can't move, and you're just stuck there. I don't know. My worst nightmare of a job would be to be a flight attendant. So if anybody is a recruiter for flight attendants, don't come knocking at my door, because I do not want to do that. Anyway, all of that aside, I celebrated my 25th birthday on my actual birthday. It was on a Sunday this year, with all my closest friends. We went to church in the morning, and I've never been to church on my birthday, I don't think. It was a great service. One of my favorite pastors preached, so love that. I wore 3 different new outfits, so that was a riveting part of the day. It wasn't even the activity, but it was the occasion. I feel like my voice is gone right now, because we did karaoke at night, and I still don't think my voice is fully recovered. But we went to church, and then we had a pool party. Me and one of my best friends, Andrea, or Dre, she and I actually share the exact same birthday. She's a year older than me, but we have the same birthday. And so we, for the last 2 years, have done a joint birthday party, because we have a lot of the same friends. So we did a little joint pool party situation. It was like pretty good amount of people. It was super fun. Had a great time at that. And then we had dinner. We all dressed up. The only requirement for me for this dinner was that you had to look hot. So all my girls stunted. We pulled up, and it was a great time. And the food was good. We went to this restaurant called Balkalar, which is in Austin near Rainy Street, and I'd never been before. And I would highly recommend. I really want to go back and try some more things on their menu. And then we did karaoke after that. So that was fun. That was Dre's request, but honestly, I think it was super fun, so I'm into it. I wasn't initially into it. I was kind of like, okay, I'm down for the pool. I really want to do dinner. I handled the dinner thing, and she handled the karaoke and the rest of everything. And it worked out really nicely, because we got to have a full day of events to celebrate us both. So, pro tip, find a best friend that has the same birthday as you, and you'll have the best day ever. Slay. Gotta take a little sip here. I wonder if you can hear that. Does ASMR still exist? Because I feel like it had a moment back when I was like podcasting in 2020 and 2021. And now I haven't even heard about ASMR in years. I think it should stay that way, but like, does it still exist? I wonder if my microphone is even picking this up right now. Anyway, so here are my goals for the next year of my life. It was funny because I was having a conversation last night with somebody just about like, what do I want to do with my life? And I panicked because I've always been a very goal-oriented, motivated, driven type of person. And I feel like I'm at a stage in my life where I've done a lot of the big things that you need to do to get to being a successful adult. Like, I've graduated college, I have a job and a career path, I have my own apartment, like, I'm saving money for a house, all of these things. And I've kind of been struggling to figure out what to do next. And one thing that's been on my mind just as of lately in this summer is to just like chill out for a second, because I almost set goals to a fault where I never get to enjoy, what is that saying? I never get to reap the benefits. There we go. I never really truly fully reap the benefits of my hard work because I'm always on to the next goal and on to the next goal and on to the next goal. So looking back on the last year, 2 years of my life, I'm really proud of where I've grown and what I've accomplished. And this summer, I don't have any specific goals other than just enjoying it and living to the fullest as always. I did take a moment to write down like 10 things here that I want to do in the next year, but none of them are like huge accomplishments where I would be like really upset if I didn't do any of them, except for maybe the first one. The first one I really do want to do. Yeah, I was having a hard time coming up with anything that I want like next in my life other than to get married and like start a family. But even I put that at the end, but I even have like completely thrown dating goals out the window. I feel like I've always put a lot of pressure on like, okay, this is the year I'm going to meet somebody, or this is the year my relationship is going to work out, or this is the year that it's going to happen for me. Because one thing about me is I've wanted to be a young mom like my whole life. Not like 19, but like I thought maybe out of college, like I would get married and then like have kids. Like by the time I was 25, I really thought that I would already have kids. And I think a lot of girls feel that way. And that's something that in the last like 6 months, I feel like I've really had to mourn. That's not the path that God's put me on. I'm not going to be a young mom. I am nowhere near getting married, and it's really disappointing, but I think it's also led me to like a deeper level of like trusting that it's going to work out exactly as it's supposed to. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm not meant to have kids right now, and so I don't have kids right now, and I'm just grateful that I didn't have a kid with the wrong person, or I didn't get married to the wrong person, or any of those things. So my last goal on this whole thing was to not have any dating goals and just go with the flow, because that's a lot easier than stressing yourself over the fact that you don't have a boyfriend yet or a husband or a child. So that's my only life goal right now. I'm not very close to that. So yeah, we're going to say there's no dating goals. Just to be happy. That's my dating goal, is to be happy. Okay, here are some of the things I would like to accomplish in the next year. One being going on another 3 to 6 week long solo trip. So I solo traveled through Costa Rica for almost 2 months at the beginning of 2023, and I really would love to do that again. I have 3 places that are on my mind. I'm not sure when or how logistically, especially because I have Shark now, that I don't know how this is all going to go down, but I either would like to go to Panama because I want to surf at Bocas del Toro, Hawaii, travel around Hawaii. I feel like that would be super fun. I haven't been to Hawaii since I was 7, maybe. I think I was 7 or 8, something like that. Or I want to go somewhere in Europe. Like, I've always wanted to go to Spain. I don't know if I would go to multiple places, probably, because it's not too hard to travel around in Europe. It's been a while since I've been to France. Like, you might as well make the most out of it if you're over there. So I really do want to go on another solo trip for 3 to 6 weeks. It's just a little bit difficult with the logistics of having Shark, but I feel like that would be a dream. So I'm going to figure out how to make that happen in the next year. And I work remotely, so I feel like I might as well do it while I can. Next one is just being consistent on the podcast, posting every week. I'm actually recording this the day before it goes live, and I'm just doing not a great job of planning in advance. So we're just going to hopefully settle into a groove and keep producing content for you guys. I hope you enjoy the podcast. I like talking, so hope you guys like listening. And I've always said this is just like my little voice memo to you to listen to while you're on a walk, or you're doing your makeup, or you're in the car, or whatever. So I hope you like it, and I'll be posting every Wednesday, hopefully consistently for the next year. Next one, and these are in no order, these are just in the order they came to mind. Next one is to do another mental health detox week. Last fall, I did a week, like basically completely off my phone, no social media. I took the week off work. I was actually on vacation while I was doing it, so I was having a lot of fun. And I came back with like the world's best mental health. And so, not that my mental health is bad in any way right now, but I just would love to take a week off of work and a week off of my phone and just like enjoy my life. I feel like that would be a good summer activity actually, because I've just been having the best freaking time of my life as of lately. And it would be even better if I didn't have to work. Honestly, life would be better if I didn't have to work, but anyway, that's a different conversation. Next one is to be able to run 10 miles. So I've never run more than like 6 or 7 miles in like one go. And some of my friends are marathoners or half marathoners. And I don't really have a training goal of like, I want to run a half marathon. I could care less about a race, but I really just like want to push myself and be able to run 10 miles. Like, I feel like that would be so cool. I have some friends that do this like every single week, and it's insane to me, but I just started running at the beginning of the year, and I've been getting faster, and I've been getting more miles in every week, but not 10 miles in one go. So we'll see how that goes. Next one is to go sober for a month or more, which I have done before, but I feel like I I have a lot of friends that don't drink alcohol or don't drink a lot, and I just love that. I really don't buy alcohol to have in my house. Like, I don't even have a liquor cabinet. I don't even think I have a drop of alcohol in my home right now. I do love a little social drink, a little cocktail out at dinner, and like there's nothing wrong with that, but I would love to just like take a month where I just decide not to drink. I don't know. I like not drinking sometimes, and my friends inspire me that do it regularly. So I feel like maybe later this year I'll just have a month where I'm just like, no alcohol this month. Or if I could do more than a month, that would be cool. But I like the taste of alcohol, so it's kind of rough. Next one is to go on more weekend trips. I feel like I haven't gone on anything more than like week to 10-day long vacations as of lately in the last like year or so. And I want to just like travel more for like a quick weekend, because it's kind of difficult to deal with like the logistics of Shark now. Like, I can't just like up and buy a plane ticket and leave all the time because I have to figure out what I'm going to do with him. And I need to find like a boarding place or something, or have somebody that can regularly watch him. But I really just want to do like some quick weekend travels, like a 3-day weekend in Miami or a 3-day weekend in Breckenridge or like whatever. I just feel like I want to travel more, even if it's short, because I want to see some more places. Next one is to go to more concerts or festivals. I've been to a couple concerts this year, and I forgot how fun they are. I like went 2 years or 3 years without ever going to concerts, partially because COVID and partially just because I've never been like the biggest concert goer, but I just like have the best time. And I really want to go to a music festival that I've never been to, like Stagecoach, I really want to go to, or Coachella maybe, or Lollapalooza, or one of those. So I really want to plan that. The next one is just a goal to continue growing in depth with my relationship with God, with studying the Bible, with my Bible study that I help lead, with my girls in my Bible study, all that stuff. Just like growing in my faith is so important to me, and it's just changed everything about my life. It's made me who I am. It's made me the best version of me yet. And I'm just so thankful for my relationship with Jesus. and I just want to keep going in depth with that. So next one is, oh, this is actually the last one. See, I didn't even have that many. I feel like none of this is like super riveting. The next one is to buy a home in the next year, or at least start the process, because I was planning to try to buy a home this year, but the interest rates were just trash. And I live in an area that is very expensive near downtown Austin. And I just didn't want to pay $3,500 a month for a mortgage. So I'm saving money. I haven't finished saving for my down payment, but I just want to like start the process of actually buying a home, because even though I love the place where I live, I just love the idea of like settling down and having a patio and like being able to host and have dinner parties or football tailgate, watch party, whatever games at my place. And yeah, I would just love to buy a home or just like make some progress in that area, because that is another one of my big goals. And then the last thing on my list, which is what I talked about already earlier in the episode, is my goal is to not have any dating goals. Like, to just not put so much pressure on getting married or having kids or being in a relationship. Like, if those things come, like, praise God, that's my dream. But also, if they don't come in the time that I want them to, like, that's also okay. And I think earlier this year, I had like a really rough beginning of the year because I went through a breakup. But I also feel like I mourned this like part of me that was really disappointed in the fact that I wasn't married or wasn't having kids, and was struggling to trust God with just relationships, or like why it's not working out, or why does nobody want me, like having all of those like feelings. And I think allowing myself to feel those things and confront those emotions and ultimately releasing them, it was not a fun time. My friends will tell you that I was upsetty spaghetti for a while, but I feel like I've just kind of turned a corner a couple months ago where I was just like, oh my gosh, if I don't get married till I'm 30, that's okay. If I don't have kids till I'm 30, that's okay. Like, I want to love my life now, even if it's not the ultimate ideal of like, I thought I would be here when I was 25, but I'm not. But instead, letting that go and just trusting that God has a bigger and better plan for me. And the last thing that I want to leave fully in my hands is the most precious gift that you'll ever have, which is your marriage and your family. I have given up on all of that, and I am just going with the flow and trying to live in the moment and enjoy my life and dating and all of that good stuff. And yeah, it's been a lot better since then. So life is good. Well, that's what I got for you guys. I guess this was kind of a shorter episode, but I do this every year, like I said, and I'm excited to share these goals with you. It'll be cool to look back in a year and just think about what I've accomplished off this list and what I want to accomplish next. Yeah, I just feel like I'm living in a dream sometimes. I truly feel so grateful for exactly where I am today. Like, I don't feel the need to be anywhere else other than exactly where I am. And it's a weird feeling because I've never really felt that way. I've always been a big striver, or like somebody that's really motivated and goal oriented, always pushing and always looking for that next cool thing to do or whatever it is. I don't know. Yeah, contentment is cool. Contentment's fun. I enjoy it. I highly recommend it. I don't really know how I got there. It kind of just happened. So, if you're struggling with contentment or struggling with feeling like I don't know why I don't feel like I can just fully enjoy where I'm at in my life right now, or I don't know why I don't feel like what I have is enough, I encourage you to stay present and be grateful for what you do have, but then also know that contentment comes with age and maturity, and also just like growing into the person that you were created to be. I'm sure there will be a time, probably next week, where there's something I want that I'm not getting, and then I'll be pissed. But that time has not come, so I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. Anyway, I love you guys. Hope you have an incredible week. Make sure you write a review or just give me 5 stars on the podcast on Spotify or Apple. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube. I have 3 subscribers on YouTube. So if you are one of my 3 YouTube subscribers, you're my 3 favorite people on the planet. Only you 3. The rest of you guys, I don't really care about. Anyway, I'll see y'all at the same time next year. Bye, guys.